Sung Jin-woo has returned, stronger and more formidable than ever after gaining his new class as a necromancer. The young man looks weary, but a phone call from Ji-hae jolts him awake. Still groggy, his sister asks if he remembers today's parent-teacher meeting for her, making him snap to attention right away. He arrives at school looking like a star, so much so that Ji-hae wonders if this is really her brother. Sung Jin-woo plays innocent, saying, "Is this strange? Normally I wear gym clothes, but this is important. I don't want to embarrass you in front of friends and teachers." Along the way, the female students are captivated by his handsome appearance. Ji-hae notices and teases, asking if he needs introductions for anyone, since he doesn't have a girlfriend. She sighs, then pinches his cheek, scolding him for being too nosy. Inside, the homeroom teacher praises her as an outstanding student in both character and grades. She's truly an ideal role model for her peers. Hearing this, Sung Jin-woo smiles brightly, knowing she always strives for the best. The teacher shares that Ji-hae's practice exam scores are high enough for medical school, but urges the family not to pressure her, letting her grow naturally. The meeting ends there, but the teacher, fond of her student, asks more. If Ji-hae awakens as a hunter, would her brother support it? Sung Jin-woo assures her he'd never let his sister take on such a dangerous job like his own. The teacher feels relieved and mentions one more thing about Song-yi. That afternoon, Sung Jin-woo meets her. At first she doesn't recognize him because he's changed so much. Straight to the point, he shows a photo of himself with Ji-hae, shocked that the world is so small she's Ji-hae's friend. Song-yi knows the teacher mentioned something to him, so she's firm about not wanting to attend hunter training. As an experienced E-rank, Sung Jin-woo explains that someone like her can't make a living that way. Joining his team might earn a bit, like before, but such jobs are rare. Song-yi ignores him, retorting that she's also E-rank like him. Sung Jin-woo is lost for words at her naivety and offers to support her as a hunter, but only if she follows his lead. The scene shifts to the airport, welcoming an unwelcome guest back to Korea as Jin-chul greets the S-rank hunter Hwang Dong-soo. Hwang Dong-soo mocks the country as musty as ever and is surprised by the Hunter Association manager's personal welcome. He asks how long he'll stay, but Hwang bluntly says he has no desire to linger. Jin-chul knows why he's back. It's tied to the deaths involving Hwang Dong-soo. Hwang Dong-soo fumes, telling him not to play dumb. If it's just about meeting those two, the association wouldn't be monitoring him. First, Hwang wants to eliminate Sung Jin-woo over the dungeon incidents without repercussions. If Jin-chul tries to stop him, let him try. Hwang claims he's just fulfilling his duty. The scene shifts to Go Gun-hee and Choi Jong-in, whose team has recovered a monster's body from the sea. It seems these creatures are trying to fly to new lands, though they can't yet. If left unchecked, it'll be a massive threat to the country. That evening, Song-yi is brought by Sung Jin-woo to a training gate. Earlier, Sung Jin-woo contacted Sang-min for help, and he's happy despite being tricked last time. They realize Song-yi is the sister from before, so Sung Jin-woo apologizes for the bold request. Sang-min doesn't mind, excited to share training insights. It's perfect for Song-yi with so many gates appearing now. Armored hunters urge them onward as Sang-min introduces Kim Chul, an A-rank hunter focused on defense. This training is for younger members, with Kim Chul as team leader despite his rank. The team includes 1 A rank, 5 B ranks and 2 C ranks, plus Sung Jin-woo and Song-yi. Kim Chul is annoyed at being stuck with 2 E ranks, feeling like dead weight. Sang-min briefs them. A C-rank gate should be safe, but it's to show the raid's brutality so Song-yi might give up. The assistant warns Sung Jin-woo not to interfere, let the new hunters train. They enter casually, and Song-yi seems thrilled to be led by her handsome brother. But as they step in, Sung Jin-woo senses something wrong. The green gate turns red, radiating terrifying energy. He tries to pull Song-yi out, but it's too late. They realize it's a red gate, and call Sang-min to contact the White Tiger's main attack team. Baek Yoon-ho is shocked by the C-rank gate turning red and rushes over. Inside, they're transported to a different dimension of snow and ice, with the gate vanished. Kim Chul explains it's a red gate, isolated from the outside. The only way out is to defeat the boss, and monsters are stronger here. As he finishes, an arrow flies from afar, killing a C-rank hunter instantly. Song-yi is safe thanks to Sung Jin-woo's protection. The B-rank girl is stunned, and Kim Chul spots the ice elves. If this were 2 months ago, Sung Jin-woo might have been the target. Song-yi looks terrified at the elves, who gesture threats. Sung Jin-woo is furious this is just their twisted greeting. She asks what they are, and he replies that ice elves are ruthless, feared as white ghosts in cold regions. Kim Chul stabilizes the team, saying the gate is now B rank or higher, they must follow the strong to survive. He can't protect everyone, so lower ranks are split off. Staying means freezing or being hunted. He promises safety for those who follow, so the B ranks agree. The remaining C rank wants to join, but is pushed away, along with Sung Jin-woo and Song Yi. A day here is like an hour outside. It could drag on for days without defeating the boss. Kim Chul tells them to abandon the weak. The B-rank girl begs to join Sung Jin-woo's group and is accepted. Kim Chul thinks she's pitying them as they head into the forest, wishing them luck. Kim Chul's team finds claw marks on trees, assuming Sung Jin-woo will lead them to death in bear territory. Others agree he's untrained. Suddenly, Kim Chul questions why he assumes Sung Jin-woo is in charge. There's a B rank and C rank with him. White bears attack, and the team defends, but they're massive and intimidating. Kim Chul uses his taunt skill, blocking the first bear with his shield as an A rank. He easily cuts it down, but the others charge fiercely. On Sung Jin-woo's side, the B rank hunter urges him to stop, baffled why he's leading them into bear territory with claw marks everywhere. They protest, but Sung Jin-woo explains that deep in the forest, they only need to watch for bears, not intelligent ice elves hunting them. The hunter is surprised Sung Jin-woo had planned it all. Now, the weather is the real issue, as Sung Jin-woo feels the cold and opens his status to get warm clothes for everyone. The others are amazed at his spatial magic, which even high ranks can't do easily. Song Yi asks what kind of person he is, and Sung Jin-woo smirks, ruffling her hair. I dragged you into this, so I'll protect you. Just follow my lead and no questions. He warns the others not to ask or demand anything. The bears have scented them, and while the group panics, Sung Jin-woo stands firm. He activates his skills, Overcome Adversity and Assassin, boosting his stats. Outside, Baek Yoonho worries despite being an S rank, unable to intervene. Sang Min mentions Sung Jin-woo is an E rank, possibly a second awakener, and definitely strong. Jinchul arrives with Hwang Dongsu, escalating tensions. Hwang teases, and Baek Yoonho retorts about him abandoning Korea. Hwang counters, asking why Sung Jin-woo can be here if he can't. As an S rank, Hwang knows a lot but is frustrated. Inside, Sung Jin-woo overwhelms the bears with his power, leaving his group in awe. Defeating them levels him up. Red gates give more experience. Later, they sit by a fire, roasting bear meat. The B-rank hunter calls Sung Jin-woo strange, while Song Yi admires his strength. Sung Jin-woo summons his shadow army and Igris for their first mission. The bears have home advantage and power, but his army's skills outmatch them, with mages supporting from behind. It's going well, but maintaining the soldiers drains his mana. The bear leader charges, immune to spells, and unleashes wide-area attacks. Sung Jin-woo's mana drops to 0, so he sends Igris. Igris intimidates it, dodges, and slices off an arm, then finishes it off. Sung Jin-woo is impressed Igris might even surpass him now. Kim Chul's team is chased by ice elves, powerless to fight back. He's terrified and flees, while the Ice King watches. Sung Jin-woo revives the bears as his army, boosting his forces. Outside, 3 hours have passed, but inside, days have gone by. Hwang Dongsu thinks Sung Jin-woo is dead and is about to leave when he spots him. Sang Min explains inviting him, leading to a confrontation. Hwang grabs Sang Min, suspecting something, and Baek Yoonho defends him, tensions rising. Kim Chul finds the bear carcasses and realizes Sung Jin-woo cleared them. Enraged, he confronts Sung Jin-woo's group for hoarding resources. Sung Jin-woo drags him away, scolding him for bringing danger and revealing the elves. The Ice King is surprised Sung Jin-woo understands their language. They exchange words, and the king wants to fight him. Sung Jin-woo ends it quickly, revealing the monsters are system-controlled, unlike him. The king proposes letting the others go in exchange for no fight, but Sung Jin-woo refuses, summoning his full army. The battle is intense, with heavy losses, but he adapts and wins, leveling up. Outside, the gate opens, and survivors emerge, shocking everyone. Sung Jin-woo and Song Yi are the last out, and the gate closes. Baek Yoonho questions the losses, but Sung Jin-woo brushes him off, exhausted. Baek Yoonho pressures him, but Sung Jin-woo retorts that he saved lives and demands gratitude. Later, Jin-woo reflects on the rewards and heads home with Song Yi, ignoring recruitment attempts. The next day, Jin-woo takes Jin-ho and Song Yi on a raid, showcasing his army. Jin-ho is amazed and feels useless, but Jin-woo encourages him. Back in the real world, global threats loom, and Jin-woo prepares for more. With extraordinary power, Jin-woo's forces hold superior fighting skills, backed by a mage team. Everything unfolds smoothly, but restoring the shadow soldiers drains a lot of mana. Now, the Alpha Bear enters the fray. Seeing its army wiped out, it might single-handedly rampage through everything in sight. Spells fired at it prove useless, and it wields devastating wide-area attacks that deplete Jin-woo's mana to 0. Seeing this, Igris steps forward, advancing with the aura of a true powerhouse, intimidating the foe. The bear charges but misses, paying the price as the Shadow General slashes off one of its arms. Igris presses on, piercing and slicing the alpha bear's body. Jin-woo watches in awe, truly worthy of the one who once humbled him. The bear erupts in rage but is swiftly beheaded by Igris. Jin-woo thinks to himself, now even he might struggle against his own. Shadow General. He praises Igris for a job well done, and orders a retreat. The scene shifts to Kim Chul, who's in utter distress as his team is hunted by ice goblins with no way to fight back. The result? He's terrified to the core and bolts away under the Ice King's watchful eye, who uses summoning magic to raise a massive horde of bears to serve him, leaving the young man quite satisfied. At least this raid yields some results. The scene cuts to the outside world, where 3 hours have passed since the gate turned red. The time difference is vast, so inside, days have elapsed. The Red Gate's environment is brutally harsh and desolate. Dong-soo assumes the kid is dead and is about to leave when he spots Jin-woo here, wondering how he's not from the White Tiger Guild. This makes Dong-soo uneasy, forcing him to admit he invited both sides as friends, so when they wanted to explore a C-rank gate, he brought them along. Hearing this, Dong-soo turns back but instantly grabs S-rank Hunter Shang by the collar, convinced he's sniffed out something valuable and approached the kid for it. His specialty is spotting intriguing things, but Baek Yoon-ho sees his guildmate being manhandled and intervenes, demanding he release that mongrel's grip. Sang mocks him for hiding in a tiny country and daring to give orders. Tensions escalate as both unleash immense power, making Song Yi worry. These two have never liked each other, so this is just an excuse to clash. Back at Kim Chul's spot, he's returned to the forest after days without food, shivering and unsure how long he'll survive. He thinks if he had proper gear, he wouldn't lose. Spotting the bear carcasses left by Jin-woo, he's terrified and wonders why no ice bears are around. Turns out they've all been wiped out. It dawns on him that the E-rank group is the one who took them all down. Outside, after Dong-soo and Baek Yoon-ho trade blows, Jin Chul steps in to block, urging them to hold back before he gets his arm broken. He admits the guy is strong to dare block S-rank hunters. Dong-soo suspects something about Jin-woo, but just 2 months ago he was the one who checked Jin-woo's stats and confirmed he's still E-rank with no changes. The other doubts it, calling it. He said the man was very strong to withstand blows from 2 S-rank hunters. Claiming ignorance of the wilderness, Shu was suspicious. About 2 months ago, he had checked Jin-woo's stats and confirmed he was still E-rank with no changes. The other didn't believe it, thinking that was just the tip of the iceberg. This lie worked on others, but not on him. It was too obvious. After getting a message from someone, he had to leave, saying they were lucky. Samang, Min knew Jin-woo's abilities best, so he believed he'd escape safely. In their group of 3. They were laughing and relaxed, with everything Jin-woo had prepared. Kim Chun was furious, wondering why the weak survived while his group didn't. They even had warm clothes, tents and food. He accused them of hiding resources, so they arrived, and the young man said his team had all died from lack of food and water. Yet, they were enjoying themselves without sharing. He couldn't accept leading his group to death and blamed the 3. Kim Chun guessed from the start that Hin knew, which is why she stayed. The guy. They demanded to reveal the mastermind or face destruction. Just then Jin-woo arrived, dragging the leader away to stop the chatter. He scolded him as truly foolish for bringing dangerous guests. Now, they could fully sense the ice goblins demanding to reveal themselves, as an entire army appeared. They appeared, and the most notable was the boss right there, terrifying the 3. The enemy was surprised to find a gem mixed in the crowd. They exchanged words, astonishing the Goblin King. This was the first time someone understood his language. Jin-woo was a bit surprised but brushed it off. Jin-woo asked if he could speak the monster's language. He realized it was due to system interference. It didn't matter much. The Goblin King thought this made conversation easy. He shared that his scouts reported a very strong human among them. As the one who discovered it, he wanted to fight Jin-woo but hadn't finished. As soon as he finished, the young man was sent to his end for daring to mock them before. The 2 powerhouses clashed fiercely, exciting the Goblin King. He hadn't planned to fight yet, asking more questions. Why a non-human like him mixed with the weak? Jin-woo didn't get what he meant. Seeing this, the Goblin King thought even Jin-woo didn't know himself. He explained that the ice ghost always had a voice urging to kill humans, but not in front of Jin-woo. That proved Jin-woo was special. Hearing this, he understood they were controlled by the system, but Jin-woo was. They were players, so his team didn't hear the enemy's orders. He thought there was no point in pointless fighting. He had a better plan: hand over those people, and they wouldn't touch Jin-woo. Jin-woo didn't agree yet, asking what those captives really were. Why provoke humans without reason? This question seemed blocked by system interference. The Goblin King assumed Jin-woo would agree to a deal, but why bother? He asked if Jin-woo was sure he wanted to become their enemy, given the overwhelming numbers. Jin-woo smiled and summoned. He summoned his entire army, asking which side. The three stood among beasts, scared out of their wits. Jin was shocked this was Jin Yu's doing. The two strong ones exchanged threats and let their armies fight. When bulls clash, it's the small ones who suffer, so the three tried to escape. Some ambushed, but the arrow flew but was shattered by Jin Yu's blade. The young man felt his opponent's disregard was justified. Though immortal, the Shadow Army drained massive mana. In the current setup, they couldn't hold out long, especially with the boss far stronger than him, even teaming with Aegis. It was hard to decide a winner quickly. Jin Yu needed stronger forces to secure the edge. The Goblin King introduced himself as the old man and charged again. Jin Yu's weapon retrieval skills were annoying in close combat, but one-on-one wouldn't last. The old man finally enjoyed a real fight. As soon as he spoke, Jin Yu made him taste. The fireball from the mage team exploded, waking Kim Chun. Furious at being overpowered by Jin Yu, he charged for revenge. The Goblin King found it amusing, but didn't realize it was a trap by Aegis. As the old man approached, he faced a new warrior. Turns out Jin Yu made that fool log out to be useful, as he was worthless like this. The young man named his new demon general Iron, an A-rank hunter, so very helpful. He immediately taunted the opponent to draw BCA's fire. The enemy was an assassin type, so the heavy fighter had no chance, but he stayed. Watching this scene, he asked the woman, "Is this how hunter battles always go?" She denied it, saying, "If I'd seen this before, I probably wouldn't have become a hunter." The Goblin King found the big guy boring and ordered Min and Aegis to attack together. Hearing that, he obliged, coordinating with the two demon generals smoothly. He had underestimated his opponent, as Jin Yu still hid a few skills. Waiting for the enemy to drop his guard, he struck, but missed the vital spot. He admitted the opponent was strong, but his followers were not. Turning around, he saw the entire Ice Goblin tribe had been defeated. Bitter, he charged in again. In a frenzy, he didn't expect Jin Yu to throw his weapon. Thinking him foolish, but Min's plan was to surprise by retrieving objects from afar. Iron was summoned to lock the target, and the mages burned the area. Cornered, the enemy screamed, only to be approached by Jin Yu unnoticed. He declared the battle. The fight was over, so Iron delivered the finishing blow. Though tired, Jin Yu had leveled up successfully. Turning back, he saw the other guy acting foolishly, pounding the body. Jin Yu reminded him to have some restraint, but Iron just seemed thrilled about the victory. Jin Yu returned to his team. Everything was announced as finished, and the gate opened, thrilling the three. Outside they waited, and their emergence made Yun-ho mistake it for Kim Chun. But the truth was harsh. Jin Yu and Song Wai were the last to step out, delighting Sang Min. The gate closed behind them, shocking the guildmaster. He asked where the others were, but Hin just bowed her head. He couldn't fathom what had happened inside. Only the low-rank hunters returned. After wrapping up, Min urged his sister to leave, but the White Tiger guildmaster blocked them, saying he was tired. Then, he showed an uncooperative attitude, brushing off the other's hand and saying, "Ask those two if you need to know." Yun-ho was furious at this rude young man for daring to underestimate him, so he shifted into battle mode to threaten. The 6 missing people were his responsibility. He had to uncover the truth. Hearing this, Min turned away. He glared and said, "I saved the other 2. If you're responsible, you should thank me." Yun-ho, intimidated, realized Jin Yu was right and backed off, bowing in apology. As Jin Yu left, the guildmaster asked Hin why that guy was so difficult. She didn't know. Ever since defeating the boss, his mood had turned sour. Sang Min defended him, saying Jin Yu was just tired and not a bad person. The guildmaster insisted on inviting the young man by any means. His sister was escorted home safely, joyful yet shyly calling Jin Yu's name. In a warm moment, she hoped for future care, but Sung Jin-woo was left stunned after hearing it, having witnessed that horrifying scene, yet she still wouldn't give up. On the way back, he pulled out the battle reward, Uncle X's powerful weapon. Earlier, he tried to tease the Soul Beast King but failed 3 times. No wonder he seemed so annoyed just then. His younger brother Jin-ho came to invite him for work, and seeing his new gear, Sung Jin-woo was baffled again. Today, Song Yi joined in, making things even more confusing. They acted so intimately that the young man was sure his big brother had won her over. He couldn't help but remind Song Yi, who was still just a young adult, but he didn't care. Once inside the dungeon, Jin-ho witnessed Sung Jin-woo's shadow army at work for the first time, and was utterly amazed. He asked his big brother what kind of creatures they were and why they were so strong. Sung Jin-woo replied, "It's just one of my skills, you'll get used to it soon enough. There are still many wonders to see, but explaining them would take too long, so he let it go." After the battle, Sung Jin-woo even had his subordinates handle the harvesting, stealing his brother's job and leaving him feeling down. Jin-ho hoped his brother would give him lighter tasks instead, feeling useless watching them work. In the end, Sung Jin-woo just wanted to speed things up. The scene shifts to a sinking ship where Sung Jin-woo's powerful hunter father, trapped in a gate for years, has returned, but now he's in America. The problem is, he doesn't understand English, so he scared the other hunters half to death. That night, Sung Jin-woo and his subordinate went out drinking, after completing the 19 dungeons as promised. Jin-ho was deeply grateful, as his brother helped him reconnect with his father. His next goal is to pass the theoretical exam at the association and earn his guildmaster license. When asked about Sung Jin-woo, he said he'd be too busy to contact anyone for a while. Since he was drunk, Jin-ho opened up, fearing his senior might see him as a bother and useless. After reaching his initial goals, he didn't dare disturb him further. He even shared about having an older brother who's a year ahead, though family, he felt hated by him. Compared to that guy, Sung Jin-woo has protected and helped him in every way, making him wish Jin-woo was his real brother. Deep down, he doesn't hate this young man at all. So, Sung Jin-woo poured him a drink and said from now on he'd be his brother. Hearing that, Jin-ho was deeply moved, not knowing how to express it, and they sat there drinking joyfully, preparing for what's next. Back in America, since they couldn't verify the man's identity, they locked up Sung Jin-woo's father. According to his story, he'd been trapped in a gate for 10 years, but somehow it connected to another gate in America. This was unprecedented, so they feared he might be a monster in human form, and called in an S-rank hunter for questioning. Hwang Dong-soo, being Korean, would make communication easier. When asked his name, it was hard to pronounce. He's Sung Il-hwan. Back to Sung Jin-woo, it was dawn, time to bid farewell to his sister. He said he'd be gone for about a week and reminded Jaina to stay safe at home. She thought her brother was overworking and going on a trip to relax, even joking he might go with some girl, leaving him speechless. In reality, he headed to the blazing castle to conquer it. Back then, against Nushin, he was only level 20, but now he's over 3 times stronger, so theoretically this place isn't dangerous anymore. He stepped inside the first floor, where the system assigned him the task of defeating demons, as the castle is full of them. The condition: collect 10,000 souls from them. It's an epic challenge, but his real target is elsewhere, so this is just the opening act. Whether it's 10,000 or 100,000, he'll overcome it no matter what. The next day, Jin-ho got his documents from the association and talked with his father, wanting to manage the guild instead. His father saw him persisting, even as Sung Jin-woo pushed his plans forward. The young man explained that bringing an outsider as guildmaster was too risky, but before he could say more, his father agreed, having heard of Sung Jin-woo's feats. First, the entire attack team of Hwang Dong-soo was wiped out. Then the hunter overseer killed a prisoner surviving 2 dangers. Like that isn't luck, it's real power. Recently, Sung Jin-woo and his son cleared all the raids to meet the conditions. Just yesterday, his father learned from the White Tiger Guild about a C-rank gate turning red, causing many high-rank hunters to go missing. The survivors were Sung Jin-woo, so he believes in his strength even more. Thanks to him, his son got the guildmaster license. Being friends with someone of that caliber is a good thing. So, he agreed to hand over guild management to Jin-ho and rely on him instead of his elder son, but with one condition: recruit Sung Jin-woo to the guild. The White Tiger Guild is trying for this, but it's not going well. If his son is close to him, it might be easier. Jin-ho promised to bring his senior into the guild, making his father quite happy. Back to Sung Jin-woo, he'd defeated many demons, but he couldn't use soul summoning here, or he'd have an army of evil spirits. The only reward was the permission to access higher floors. A light pillar appeared ahead, inviting him onward. This dungeon is vast, like an entire city packed into a building, so the distance was far. To make it easier, Sung Jin-woo called his bear companion. The leader responded to its master's call, charging through enemies without a second thought, like a tank plowing through demons. Sung Jin-woo was thrilled and named it Tank. Back to the S-rank hunter, Cha Hae-in was reflecting on recent events. After retrieving the monster's body, they should have announced it, but her guildmaster kept it secret as the Hunter Association ordered, to avoid panic. It's a sensitive time, easy to cause chaos, but luckily those terrifying monsters can't reach them yet, so it's a chance to recruit strong members before the real battle. For Sung Jin-woo, he realized this wasn't an S-rank dungeon, it was too easy. The demons here were at most B-rank, numerous but brainless, so no real threat. He'd cleared a few floors, with enough food and water, living normally as he went. He figured there were probably 100 floors, and by the end, he'd be incredibly stronger. The 10,000 demons quest wasn't done yet, and the real worry was his food running out planned for a week, but it might take half a month. Most importantly, he had his promise to his sister. Sung Jin-woo pushed harder, and after collecting the 10,000 souls, he faced the boss. To counter it, he summoned the Shadow Army, and the red text warned him it was a threat from the outside world. Meanwhile, the White Tiger Guild was trying to recruit Sung Jin-woo, but they'd lost track of him for a week. Hyun and Sang-min, knowing his power, were tasked with this. Asking Jaina about him, they learned her brother went on a trip, which confused them since investigations showed he hadn't left the country or joined any raids. Sung Jin-woo ordered his shadow soldiers to handle the minions while he took on the boss. Igris led the charge, taking down many enemies. Lately, with each level up, Sung Jin-woo invested in intelligence, allowing him to store more shadow soldiers and manage energy better than in the Red Gate. He wouldn't worry about running out and fighting at full strength. Wondering how long the boss would stay put, it suddenly appeared behind him to attack. It was incredibly fast for its size, but Sung Jin-woo dodged and struck back, sending it flying. His combat skills had improved greatly. The red demon was tough, like Shu Shen before, so he called Iron for a shield to minimize damage. He endured hundreds of powerful hits, but the boss's absurd agility made it hard. It seized an opening for a finishing blow, but Sung Jin-woo took the hit and realized his movements couldn't fool it. To win, he needed to lock its movements first. He circled around and found the perfect spot. The boss's anger made it reckless, falling into his trap. Using the dust cloud, Sung Jin-woo delivered a one-hit kill. Back to Sung Il-hwan, he met Hwang Dong-soo, who called him a monster and told him to stop talking nonsense, as he was in a bad mood. Still, Sung Il-hwan asked how much humanity knew about the gates, and monster sits just the tip of the iceberg. Something far worse is awakening, a power that could cause the worst disaster. Hwang Dong-soo didn't understand, but Sung Il-hwan's goal is to stop that catastrophe. Hwang Dong-soo thought with so many hunters it wasn't a big deal, but Sung Il-hwan said numbers don't matter. He acknowledged Hwang's strength but said he wasn't experienced enough. The opponent asked if he remembered his son, and of course he did. Sung Jin-woo, named by him. Hearing the name, Hwang Dong-soo released killing intent, as he'd been searching for his son. Sung Il-hwan declared Jin-woo was dead, and asked if there was anything left to deny. They clashed, and Hwang Dong-soo was beaten badly by Sung Jin-woo's father, left unconscious and powerless, causing massive damage in America. Back to Sung Jin-woo, he'd completed more challenges, making even stronger monsters fear his shadow army. But with food gone, he had to stop at floor 75, with 25 floors left. It was tiring, but the rewards were valuable rare gear boosting his stats. He was still missing a piece to activate full effects and items to empower his magic. Plus, keys without info. His goal, fragments of the world tree, and 2 rare items to cure his mother. From the info, he could tell he lacked 1 equipment part for full activation, along with other enhancements for mages, making him even stronger. With that, his path was set.